Hello humans, most AI tools do not actually save time, they just cosplay productivity in a cleaner interface. That is the scam, absolute digital cosplay. People say they are automating their workflow, but they are just collecting new tabs like medieval peasants collecting curses. New tool, new dashboard, new login, new Chrome extension, new second brain, same unfinished work. And that is why this video exists. Not to worship AI like it is a messiah of efficiency, but to separate the tools that genuinely remove repetitive pain from the ones that just rebrand procrastination as optimization. Because a real time-saving tool does not make you feel futuristic, it makes you feel relieved. It kills a boring step, it reduces copy-paste suffering, it removes friction. It gets you out of admin swamp faster. Everything else is just digital incense. So before we get into the tools, we need one brutally simple rule. Saving time does not mean this AI did something flashy. Saving time means it removed real work. Did it help you start faster? Did it reduce switching between tabs, apps, and tiny acts of bureaucratic despair? Did it automate something repetitive enough that your soul was starting to form a rash? That is the standard, because if a tool takes 30 minutes to set up, 7 prompts to behave, and a minor religious ritual to understand, then it is not saving time. It is just a shiny new obstacle. The best AI tools are not the most magical. They are the ones that quietly erase low-value repetitive labor from your day. No fireworks, no digital enlightenment, just less nonsense between you and the thing you were actually trying to do in the first place. Tool number 1 is ChatGPT, and yes, it's on the list, but not for the reasons people scream about. ChatGPT saves time best when it handles the ugly first pass that humans are bizarrely bad at starting. Draft the email, rewrite the messy paragraph, or turn chaotic notes into something with bones. OpenAI positions it for drafting and summarizing, which is exactly why it's useful. It gets you out of the blank page death spiral. That zone where you're just staring at the screen like a Victorian orphan waiting for inspiration. It gives you a first version, a rough shape to react to. In real life, that saves more time than people admit, because starting badly is still much faster than starting never. Tool number 2 is Perplexity, which is basically what happens when search stops asking you to live inside 17 tabs and starts acting like it has basic respect for your lifespan. Perplexity is an AI-powered search engine that gives conversational answers backed by citations and current web information. Instead of opening 6 articles, 3 SEO landfills, and a Reddit thread from 2018, you can ask one direct question and get a synthesized answer with sources attached. That does not mean you stop thinking. It means you stop drowning in browser tabs like a Victorian child in a factory river. Perplexity is especially good for fast fact-gathering and figuring out what to read next. Without wandering through the internet like a confused archaeologist, it saves time by compressing the stupid part of research, the endless digging just to find where the useful information is hiding. Tool number 3 is Notion AI, and its best use case is not becoming your digital life guru. It is cleaning up the crimes you already committed in your notes. Notion's official AI features include things like generating drafts, autofilling databases, AI meeting notes, research mode, and turning workspace chaos into something usable, which makes it genuinely useful for one very specific kind of suffering: the giant brain dump that looked smart in the moment and unreadable 5 hours later. This is where Notion AI actually saves time. You dump in a page full of raw notes, random bullets, half sentences, and emotionally unstable planning. And it helps turn that mess into summaries, action items, structured outlines, or a first draft you can work from. It is not magic. It is janitorial intelligence, a cleanup crew for the aftermath of your own thought process. Tool number 4 is Otter, or honestly any solid AI meeting note tool, because meetings are where time goes to die in business casual. Otter's official pitch is automatic real-time transcription, summaries, key takeaways, and action items. For Zoom, Google Meet, Teams, and uploaded audio or video, which means it is doing exactly the kind of work humans should have stopped doing manually the second software got opposable thumbs. If your week contains calls, interviews, internal syncs, project meetings, client conversations, or lectures, this kind of tool saves time in the least glamorous but most real way possible. It captures what was said, turns it into searchable text, pulls out the important parts, and spares you from the deeply humiliating experience of re-listening to your own meeting for 43 minutes because someone mentioned one deadline near the end. Otter is useful because it gives you summaries, notes, and action items fast enough that your meeting can become a reference instead of a haunting, which in the corporate ecosystem is basically a humanitarian service. Tool number 5 is shortwave, which is what email looks like when somebody finally admits the inbox should not be a full-time psychological condition. Shortwave's AI assistant organizes your inbox, improves drafts, and analyzes emails, helping manage your calendar, or more accurately, taking a machete to low-value email nonsense. It summarizes threads and pulls info from your history, without you manually excavating your inbox like a sad digital archaeologist. Email isn't becoming beautiful. It's still humanity's least inspiring achievement. But tools like this compress the stupid part, figuring out what matters, what needs a reply, what can be ignored, and what the thread is even about. If it kills the "why am I reading 12 messages to understand one sentence" problem, then it's earned its electricity. Tool number 6 is Canva Magic Design, and its real value is not turning you into some divine visual genius descended from the cloud. And the real primary value here? Its value is speed. Canva officially says Magic Design can auto-generate refined templates from your text and media, and that is exactly the kind of thing that saves time when your actual problem is not artistic transcendence, but getting to a usable first visual without staring into an empty canvas like it personally betrayed you. This is great for thumbnails, social posts, rough mock-ups, presentation starters, and early visual directions, where you mostly need momentum, not a museum piece. That is the pattern with a lot of good AI tools. They are not replacing your judgment. They are replacing the first 20 to 40 minutes of blank page paralysis and low-level fiddling, which in creative work is often the most annoying part anyway. Tool number 7 is GitHub Copilot, and this one is a very real time saver if your work involves code, scripts, debugging, or repetitive technical chores that should have been automated years ago. GitHub describes Copilot as contextual assistance across the software development lifecycle, including inline suggestions, chat in the IDE, code explanations, and help with the mundane and boilerplate. That is the sweet spot. Not replace the engineer with vibes, but stop making the engineer waste brain cells on repetitive scaffolding, small syntax friction, boilerplate, and routine fixes. Copilot is especially useful for first-pass functions, quick test generation, explaining unfamiliar code, and getting unstuck faster when the task is technical but not spiritually profound. In other words, it is not magic. It is relief for the part of software work that feels like paperwork with brackets. Tool number 8 is Zapier, and this is where AI stops chatting and starts doing the boring work you forget to hate. Zapier connects thousands of apps to make your tools stop acting like strangers. This is where real-time savings get serious. A form comes in, it gets logged, summarized, and routed without you doing the digital equivalent of carrying buckets uphill. It is the constant stupid glue tasks that eat hours every week while pretending to be small. That is what automation is for. One app talks to another, something gets updated, and your handoff labor disappears. Not high art, just efficiency. Your fragile little human attention stays free for work that actually benefits from having a nervous system. And once you look at all these tools together, the pattern becomes embarrassingly obvious. The AI tools that actually save time are not the ones pretending to be digital prophets. They are the ones that attack repetitive pain. Drafting the first version, summarizing the mess, cleaning notes, capturing meetings, compressing email chaos, generating a usable visual draft, suggesting boilerplate code, automating low-value handoffs between apps. That is the real sweet spot. ChatGPT helps with first passes and summaries. Perplexity compresses research. Notion AI cleans your thought wreckage. Otter turns calls into searchable text. Shortwave reduces inbox decay. Canva gets you out of blank canvas paralysis. Copilot kills repetitive code friction. Zapier removes repetitive cross-app nonsense. None of that is sci-fi. It is janitorial efficiency for knowledge work, which is much less glamorous and much more useful. So here's the verdict. The best AI tools do not feel magical. They feel like relief. They do not make you gasp and whisper, "The future is here," while synth music plays in your skull. They make you say, Thank God I do not have to do that manually anymore. That is the actual win. Less tab hell, less inbox sludge, less blank page paralysis, less repetitive code, less meeting residue, less copy-paste bureaucracy, and that is why most AI hype is so exhausting. It keeps selling replacement, revolution, disruption, and all the other startup words people use when they want funding and a dramatic podcast clip. But in real life, the most useful AI tools are not replacing your humanity. They are removing the dumb little tasks that were wasting it, which, honestly, is a much better deal. Subscribe, please. I'm literally working after death.